be. I think speaking individually, there was a couple throws I missed, and then just a couple miscommunications. And it's good to go against a different defense. We're going against our defense all camp, so just to see different looks, different disguises, to have to really play each play as its own and go back to some of our base rules, it's good for us as an offense. Kind of just measuring, saying like, hey, this is where we're at. This is kind of what we showed today. Let's learn from it and get better. So I think that's just an honest assessment of today. There's some stuff to clean up, but I thought guys competed hard, flew around. Just got to clean up some of the details.
What type of new challenges did the Dolphins defense present to you that you're kind of happy to see because you haven't faced someone else yet?
Yeah, they do some great stuff. I think just some of the disguises they do. You get used to playing against your own defense, and you see kind of the same disguises, so you start to pick up on certain things and you can protect it. But when you're seeing things for the first time, because you can't really game plan all the time when it's preseason and joint practice, you don't know what they're going to do. They could do new stuff. So coming out here, just that's why I said having to play and then react to, sometimes you get in some bad situations because you might have sent the protection one way, they bring the pressure the other way, and then what do you do from there as a quarterback with the ball, but also guys running the routes? How do they run their routes, speed them up, all those things? And we had some great looks that didn't all go our way, but that we'll learn from.
Trevor, you've been through 5 of these camps now. How do you process the ups and downs, the sloppy play versus the good stuff, and how you feel going now into the regular season with the games and camp done?
I feel good. I think the work we put in will show during the season, the work we put in during camp. Today wasn't our best showing, but Grant made a great point to the quarterbacks after practice. At the end of the day, we're not going to be judged on how today went. That this is just today. You put it in a box, you learn from it, you move on. That doesn't determine what we do in week 1 versus Carolina, just like tomorrow won't determine necessarily what we do in Carolina. It's just an accumulation of all the days and taking all the information in and learning from it, growing from it, and understanding that it's all making us better to get us to a place to where by week 1 we're ready to go. And there's, we're counting down the days now. There's not many more practices left. So he made a great point of just, making every rep count. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be perfect, but really learning from it and being focused and dialed in and having a standard for how we play.
How do you balance that, knowing you're kind of counting down the days to week 1, but there's still a lot of work left to be done?
Yeah, it's just taking it one day at a time, truly. It's cliche, but it really is. That's what you have to do in camp when you feel the season right around the corner. And kind of now we're going to be after this game against Miami, we'll be in that little awkward phase right between game planning and camp. You're right in between it. So I think the good teams take care of business that week and really find ways to get better. We might not start game planning. We might start game planning a little bit, but make those reps count and take care of our bodies and really maximize all the days that we do have.
Liam talked a little bit about Brian's ability to step up when there's real competition going on out there.
Yeah.
Is that something you trust now?
Yeah, for sure. You've seen him do it enough. I think there's, you've just seen the guy make a ton of plays when it matters, and when the lights are bright, I guess, so to speak. He comes to play, and guy I have a lot of trust in. I think our relationship has grown a lot this offseason in this camp. So it's exciting to feel that relationship coming along, and not just on the field but off the field, because I think it all ties in together. The more you know someone, the more chemistry you have, the more you can talk to someone a certain way, see what's going on. And I think that's been one of the best parts about camp for me, is building those relationships with guys like Brian and guys like Travis, and Parker's been here, but Diami, guys that are newer. I think it's been really good.
Camp can obviously be a grind. How do you feel physically coming off all the stuff of last year, and how do you feel like you're throwing?
I feel really good. Physically, I feel very good. Shoulder, haven't had any issues. Rest of my body feels good. I think I've thrown it really well in camp. Like I said, missed a couple today. Go back, watch the tape, see some of the fundamentals can sometimes get a little out of whack when you start seeing some different pressures and stuff. So it'll be good to learn from the tape. But I really feel like I'm throwing it well, and just got to continue that, going into week 1. And like I said, take care of my body. And coach has done a great job with the camp schedule. I think he's pushed us, but he's kept us fresh enough to where we still get good work and guys are ready to roll and feel fresh.
Things got chippy a couple times. Is it kind of a positive without it going too far to see that edge and that kind of competitiveness when you see a team on the other side of you guys?
For sure. There's times where you got to get the work in, and it's like, all right, guys, let's get some work in, But that goes both ways, and I think if that's something you want in your team, you're not going to get pushed around. So you never want to encourage fighting, but they're all. Can you guys hear me still? I don't know. It's probably messing us up. But every team should be saying the same thing. It's like, you don't encourage fighting, but if someone's going to fight, you you don't just let that happen to your teammate, let that happen to yourself. You know, you're never the nail. So I think both teams kind of showed that today, and you see some pushback, and that's fine. Like, we got to keep it between the lines, but there's going to be some of that, and I think that's part of this sport. It's a violent sport.
You mentioned about how valuable like each one of these reps is, but for a guy you're trying to get the timing down with, like Travis Hunter, who's missed a couple of days.
Yeah.
How valuable is the time? I know he's kind of been getting those mental reps on the side, but how much, I guess, extra work are you gonna have to do to kind of make sure that you're there with him when it cranks up?
Yeah, I think we've gotten a lot of extra work just throughout the off season, after practice, whatever, because he's been doing both. So there's days where we miss some reps, so we've been trying to keep up with that already, but even more so now that he's missed some time. So hopefully we'll get him back out there running around really soon, and can kind of make up some ground that we might have missed. I mean, the offense is in, so I wouldn't say he necessarily missed a lot installation-wise. We've already put everything in. It's just more so getting him back used to hearing everything, because when you're out for a little bit, sometimes the brain gets a little foggy. So just making sure he's sharp and ready to go. And then there is a couple routes that we haven't got to throw a ton of this spring just because of the limited time.
Yeah.
So just working those on air, really, just timing stuff. And then when it comes to man coverage and him going and winning and making a play, I'm not as worried about that. I just got to give him a good throw.
You had mentioned earlier just about building a relationship with guys on the field. I'm curious, being that it's the first off-season, first training camp, first preseason with Liam, just how your relationship has been built over this time.
But me and Liam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think just the communication is very forward, up front, and the way he communicates is very direct. It's been awesome having him around. He talks to me between a lot of plays in practice, after practice. He'll pop in our room. We'll talk about stuff. I think obviously there's something to that. It's getting on the same page as your head coach, one, but also he's the play caller too. So like those things that relationship's really important, and knowing how that back and forth goes, because there's some things that you might see a little bit different because I'm the one playing. He sees it from a wider view, and we've had some good instances where we've had to talk about some stuff where it's like, I didn't really see it that way, and then we get on the same page. So that's what camp's for. That's what the off season's for. Iron out some of those things, and he's been awesome. He's taught me a lot about ball, and excited to really start the year.
All right, one more.
Thanks,
Good.